The week. This is Sunday evening now. When the disciples were together with the doors locked for fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace, peace. You're all uptight. You're scared. You're frightened out of your minds. Peace. I'm here. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm alive forevermore. You don't have to fear anything. I have overcome all that the devil had to bring against me. The world, the flesh, and the devil." You remember that story. I always like it. You'll pardon me if I give it again. It wasn't original with me, but it's the graphic story. I think Mike Warnke was the one who gave it originally. But it's like the devil is always trying to destroy Jesus. Throughout Jesus' life and throughout the history, he's just trying to destroy the testimony of Jesus. The testimony of spiritual people, he's trying to destroy it. And finally, he has Jesus where he wants him. He's nailed to the cross. And now he's dead. And he's in the tomb. And Satan is so delighted. I've got him where I want him. He's in the tomb. And he said, well, let's seal that tomb. And so the Romans say, seal the tomb. And they put soldiers beside the tomb. We want to be sure that he's dead and he stays dead. Because Satan remembers what he had said about rising again. We're going to keep him dead. And Satan is he's filled with joy that he finally has successfully destroyed his greatest enemy, Christ, the Son of God, who came to reclaim. You see, Satan is a prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now rules in the children of disobedience. Ever since Adam and Eve sinned, Satan gained the upper hand, and he now rules. And so finally, but God sent Jesus to gain back the control of mankind. And so Jesus is now dead, and Satan's delighted. Finally, I've won. I just have to keep him dead. And he's so relieved that he decides to go on a vacation for 3 days. A 3-day vacation. That sounds okay, doesn't it? And he calls his lieutenants to him and he says, now look, I'm going on a vacation, but I want you guys to keep Jesus dead. Because he said he's going to escape from death. And his 2 lieutenants have, one of them's name is Death, and the other one's name is Corruption. And so Death said, you know, I can hold him. Nobody can escape my grip. I have him under my grip, and I'm going to hold on to him. And the other one, Corruption, says, well, if Death can hold him, I can rot him. If he can hold him, I can rot him. And so, you boss, you just go and have a good vacation. Because we're holding him and we're rotting him. In 3 days, you'll come back. He'll be starting to decay and become part of the ground. So Satan goes away. He packs his lunch. I won't get into whether he packed deviled eggs or anything like that, but he goes on a lunch. He goes on his 3 days. He comes back, and he senses immediately that something has gone wrong. He sees this light down at the end of a long corridor in hell, and he hears shouting, and it sounds like people are full of joy. And he turns to his and they're being set free from their bondages. And he says to his lieutenants, what in the world's going on here? And Death said, well, boss, I tried to hold him, but there's something about that man. I could not hold him. I couldn't hold him. I couldn't hold him. Nobody has ever escaped me like that, but he escaped me. And Corruption says, well, you know, boss, I tried to rot him. I tried to rot him, but I could not rot him. And so Satan is in a fit of anger and fury at these lieutenants. And finally, they let go the prize of history. And at that point, Jesus comes up. This light comes up and comes up right up to Satan. And he says, Satan, give me the keys. And Satan fumbles on his key ring and he gives Jesus his keys. For Jesus. Jesus has escaped. He's escaped death. Death has no more hold over him. Death has no more control over him. And then he says, but no, Satan, I want all the keys. I want Greg's keys, and George's keys, and Grace's keys, and Averly's keys. I want all the keys of all the people of all time. I want all the keys. Danette's keys, and Don's keys, and Amanda's keys, and Missy's keys, and Sarah's keys, and man, on and on. I want all the keys of all times. I want those keys. So that anybody who comes to me and says, oh, Jesus, would you set me free? They will be set free indeed. Amen. And so Satan has to hand over all the keys. Jesus now has your key. And all you need to do is ask for it. Jesus, I want you to set me free. I want you to set me free from sin and addiction and bondage and hatred and resentment and all the stuff I've been in bondage to. Please set me free. And he says, I've got your key. I went through death. I went to the corridors of hell to set you free. And so he says to his disciples who are gathered there, peace. I've got your keys. I've got your keys, Peter. I've got your keys, John. I've got your keys. I've got your keys. Peace be unto you.